This art style and unique texture can only be found in vintage anime. Every movement is depicted with meticulous attention to detail. Today, we bring you the classic anime, Angel Cop. Ryden is a member of a special police force. The special police force was established to deal with terrorist organizations. One day, he received a message about terrorist activities at a securities company, assigned by his superiors. Ryden teamed up with a rookie named Angel, whom he had never met before. He waited for a long time at the designated location but didn't see anyone. Time was running out. He had to proceed with the arrest. Disguised as a maintenance worker, Ryden knocked on the door. Unexpectedly, the people inside were already prepared. He cautiously searched the room. Suddenly, several individuals surrounded him. Ryden pretended to surrender. Taking advantage of the two individuals' distraction, he swiftly knocked them unconscious. Then, he picked up a handgun and quickly took cover behind a table. In a matter of moments, he subdued the remaining two individuals. Next, he discovered bombs in a box. Just as Ryden was about to interrogate the location of the other bombs, he turned his head and noticed the woman in the room had disappeared. At this critical moment, the rookie codenamed Angel arrived. Although Ryden was grateful to Angel, he found her methods too extreme. On the other side, the leader of the Red terrorist organization, Susan, was about to be extradited back to his country. Other members of the special police force were responsible for escorting Susan. However, an unexpected incident occurred. There was a sudden explosion around the airport. Susan's henchmen took a police officer hostage and escaped in a helicopter. All of this was within the expectations of Kaisho. He believed that the true leader of the Red organization might be Takehara, who returned with Susan. Susan was just a decoy. Shortly after, they discovered a helicopter at a construction site. As Kaisho suspected, Susan had already been killed by them. Their true objective was the securities exchange. Once it was destroyed, the entire national economy would fall into chaos. Kaisho had already arranged for Ryden and Angel to ambush nearby. Soon, they found a suspicious delivery van. Inside were Takehara and others. When they saw the special police arriving, they hurriedly drove away. Not far away, Hacker received the news. Driving an armored vehicle, they intercepted together. They forced the terrorists onto the highway, taking advantage of her speed. Angel flanked from the side. She shot and injured the driver. The van came to an abrupt stop. However, Ryden, who was chasing from behind, crashed into it directly. At that moment, Takehara wanted to make a final struggle. He took out a rocket launcher and aimed at Angel. The shell passed by Angel's side. Angel was knocked away by the explosion. After a moment, she regained consciousness. Driving a motorcycle, she continued the pursuit. They cornered the van on an elevated bridge. Seizing the opportunity, Takehara jumped into the lake. The van went past Angel and sped away. Hacker and Angel split up to pursue, but by the time she arrived, the van had exploded. Angel followed the trail of blood on the ground and turned into an alley. A mysterious person appeared before her. Shortly after, the person disappeared without a trace. All that remained were the bodies of the terrorists. The mysterious person took care of the escaping terrorists, while Takehara took the opportunity to escape to a base. Hacker followed closely behind. Quietly entering the corridor, he discovered the trap set by the terrorists. He then took out a wire and quickly assembled a remote detonation device. Upstairs, upon hearing the trap being triggered, he immediately ordered his subordinates to withdraw. Meanwhile, Hacker quietly emerged from the elevator shaft and suddenly appeared before them. Takehara's men threw a smoke bomb, but Hacker quickly reacted and eliminated them. Takehara wanted to seize the opportunity to escape, but Hacker pointed his gun directly at his head. Takehara was brought back to the special police headquarters, where special methods were used to deal with such criminals. However, it's not just the special police dealing with the Red organization. Lucifer, Azura, and Freya were also searching for them. Lucifer copied the data of the Red organization members from the computer. Their mission was to eliminate all members of the Red organization.
Good. It's time for us to go to work.
The next day, the special police received reports of the Red organization members being killed, and their deaths were extremely gruesome. Kaisho realized that this matter was not simple. At that moment, the reconnaissance team received information that the remaining Red organization members were hiding in an office building. They immediately launched a capture operation. They must catch them alive before they do. After Kawada's deployment was completed, Angel and Hacker infiltrated the building. By now, Azura and Freya have also entered the building. Hacker was on the 8th floor. When he encountered Freya, who possessed special abilities. She emitted flames from her body that instantly melted everything around her. Yet nothing could be seen on the surveillance cameras. At that moment, Freya suddenly said, "Don't come any closer, or you'll all die." Witnessing the gruesome fate of their comrades, the terrorists blindly fired at Freya, but their bullets couldn't even get close to her. She turned around, glaring fiercely at the terrorists, and with a roar, their bodies turned to ashes in an instant. Kuwata, accompanied by special police wearing fire-resistant suits, went to check the situation, and coincidentally encountered Freya descending the stairs. He tried to ask her something, but she only said, "Don't get close to me." One of the special police quickly released a fire extinguisher, but when the smoke cleared, Freya had already vanished without a trace, leaving only the team member kneeling in place. Opening the fire-resistant suits, all that's left inside is a skeleton. It seemed that water had an effect on Freya's special abilities. Kuwata ordered his subordinates to place a bomb on the rooftop water tower. Meanwhile, Angel is in a standoff with terrorists. Suddenly, Azura appears. He then uses his supernatural abilities to make the terrorists point their guns at him. Angel tries to intervene with Azura. However, the bullets can't even get close to Azura. Even Angel's body is being controlled. Just then, a man wearing armor burst in. Azura's abilities couldn't restrict his movements, and he controlled the shattered stones to attack the man. But the man skillfully evaded them. Approaching, the man attempted to take Azura with him, when suddenly, an explosion occurred on the rooftop. It turns out Kuwata found Freya, and blew up the water tower in an attempt to subdue her. Her cry for help reached Azura's ears, and he instantly appeared by Freya's side. After Azura left, the man removed his helmet. Surprisingly, it was Ryden. Wasn't he missing since the last operation? In order to force Takehara to reveal the truth, Kaisho and Kuwata took turns subjecting him to brutal torture. Under this relentless torment, Takehara was on the verge of a breakdown. Seizing the opportunity, Kaisho revealed to Takehara that members of the Red Organization had been systematically killed since his capture, their deaths marked by gruesome scenes. Upon hearing this, Takehara immediately showed fear and subsequently confessed everything. He disclosed that he had received orders from the World Terrorist Organization to destroy the entire country's economy, and Lucifer, the three individuals, were hunters sent by the World Terrorist Organization to eliminate members who had failed in their operations. Kaisho reported this intelligence to Minister Kume, but when Kaisho mentioned the organization behind Takehara, Kume suddenly ordered him to stop the investigation and assigned him a different task. Kaisho tentatively mentioned the classified file codenamed H to Kume. Causing a furrowed brow, Kume falsely claimed to be unaware of it. Seeing this, Kaisho turned and left. Once he was gone, Kume dialed a mysterious person's phone number. The two discussed matters concerning the H-file and mentioned the hunters. To prevent the exposure of the H-file, Kume issued an order to attack the Special Public Security Headquarters. However, Kaisho overheard everything. He learned from Kuwata that the H-file referred to an abandoned site in Hokkaido that was secretly sold to a Jewish businessman by high-ranking politicians for personal gain. The incident was subsequently covered up. Kaisho would not allow anyone to harm the country's interests, so he instructed his subordinates to protect Takehara. At this moment, Angel delivered news that Ryden had been saved by Dr. Ichihara, and his body had been modified. The three of them were currently at the doctor's secret research base. Upon hearing this, Kaisho angrily sought out Ichihara, and questioned him about why he had used the experimental modification technology on Ryden. Ichihara explained that he did it partly for the sake of experimentation, and also because Kitada's injuries were too severe, and he wouldn't survive without the modifications. Meanwhile, members of the Special Public Security were setting up traps in a concerted effort. They were about to face a small team of 20 to 30 operatives who might also deploy armed helicopters. Hacker had set up steel wire mesh on the rooftop as a trap. After completing their preparations, the three gathered in the warehouse. The armed team first fired rockets at the top floor and then broke in from the side, searching each floor, only to find no one there.
Wait, huh? Hey, oh my God!
The searchers were all caught in a trap. None of them survived. The helicopter crew tried to sneak in from the roof, but they were caught in a hacker trap. The helicopter was instantly destroyed. Seeing the opportune moment, Kuwata and his team launched a counterattack from their ambush positions. The captain, witnessing his subordinates falling into the ambush, personally piloted the helicopter to attack the building. At this critical moment, peace appeared on the roof of the building. A rocket directly killed the captain. All the armed team members were killed. Hacker, looking down at the lifeless bodies, fell into contemplation. After a moment of adjustment, Kawada began assigning tasks. He instructed Hacker and Peace to escort Takehara and meet up with Kaisho. After the failed mission of the armed team, Minister Kume assigned Lucifer to eliminate the special public security in order to prevent the highly classified H-file from leaking. However, Freya and Azura did not want to harm innocent people. Freya arrived in front of Kawada, urging him to escape quickly. Kawada was bewildered by this unexpected turn of events. Freya and Azura had helped them eliminate terrorists on multiple occasions, and Kawada hoped to have a proper conversation with them. Just then, a powerful force shattered the wall. Lucifer, who had officially arrived. Freya attempted to save Kawada but was sent flying by Lucifer's power. Azura, hearing the cry for help, rushed to the scene. Kawada was about to say something, but Lucifer effortlessly restrained him with a single hand. She aimed to extract the information about Takehara from Kawada's mind. Azura tried to save Kawada, but his powers were useless against Lucifer. After reading the information, Lucifer brutally killed Kawada. The Lucifer they knew had been consumed by ambition. Azura and Freya refused to obey her commands anymore, and since they were no longer useful to Lucifer, she's going to use her powers to finish them off. Azura reacted immediately. He took Freya and escaped. They made it to Dr. Ichihara's lab. They informed Kaisho of the situation, hoping to stop Lucifer from further senseless killings. Meanwhile, disguised as Kaisho's voice, Lucifer used a radio to locate Hacker and Peace's position. She rode a motorcycle towards them, deliberately causing a high-speed accident to create traffic congestion and block their path. Hacker and Peace realized the impending danger and set traps around the car. Lucifer arrived on her motorcycle, impervious to conventional weapons in the face of her special abilities. She easily overpowered Hacker and Peace, then proceeded to brutally kill Takehara. Using Hacker as bait, she aimed to eliminate the supporting special police. When Angel arrived at the scene, it was already in chaos. She saw Hacker standing in the middle of the road. Then he detonated a hand grenade. As the smoke cleared, Lucifer appeared in front of her. Just as she was about to deal with Angel, Azura arrived in time. The two engaged in a battle of superpowers, while Angel took the opportunity to take out a specially modified handgun created by Dr. Ichihara. The weapon had increased power but also increased recoil, and an ordinary person could only use it twice before their arm would shatter. Lucifer used her powers to manipulate nuts and bolts. Attacking Angel, Freya intervened, using a protective shield to block the attack. Azura tried to persuade Lucifer to stop, but she laughed at his naivety. The battle between the two sides continued to escalate, using their superpowers against each other. However, Azura was no match for Lucifer. In a crucial moment, Freya unleashed a surge of immense power. A blazing flame was sent towards Lucifer, but she effortlessly blocked every attack and severely injured Freya. Enraged, Azura controlled a nearby oil tanker and crashed it into Lucifer. Seizing the opportunity, Angel shot and detonated the tanker. Azura then used her powers to escape with the two of them. They returned to Dr. Ichihara's research institute. Azura revealed that the three of them were born with special abilities and had later participated in military experiments. They believed their unique powers would change the world, but instead became tools for others to kill, ultimately leading to Freya's death. Azura was determined to make Lucifer pay the price. Before long, a special forces team surrounded the research institute. Lucifer appeared once again, fine weapons, blackened armor. Ryden, riding his motorcycle, began to counterattack against the special forces team. Dr. Ichihara couldn't help but burst into laughter upon witnessing the immense power of the weapons he had invented. After dealing with the peripheral personnel, Ryden went to support Angel. Although Angel possessed formidable combat skills, but with the difference in numbers, she still seems to be a bit overwhelmed. She was immobilized under the enemy's intense firepower. In a critical moment, Ryden arrived in the nick of time. The tide of battle instantly turned. The enemy's weapons couldn't penetrate Ryden's armor, and with the modified firearms provided by Ichihara, they quickly dispatched the enemies in the area. Afterward, the two hurriedly made their way to Ichihara's secret chamber. Azura sensed that the Ichihara was in danger. He settled Freya and immediately went to Ichihara's secret room. Just as they reached the critical moment and saved Ichihara, the alarm sounded. It was Lucifer, approaching rapidly. After Dr. Ichihara made some quick adjustments to Ryden's armor, Ryden, riding the motorcycle, confronted the most formidable enemy. He immediately launched two missiles at Lucifer. However, Lucifer effortlessly destroyed the missiles with a single glance. The two engaged in a direct confrontation, but Ryden proved to be no match for Lucifer. Ryden rose to continue the counterattack, but couldn't get close to Lucifer with his bullets. Lucifer swiftly moved in front of Ryden, striking him with a single hand and sending him flying dozens of meters away. Watching from the surveillance, Ichihara discovered that the impact of the blow reached several hundred tons of force. The enemy they faced was nothing short of a monster. At this moment, Ryden was pinned to the wall by Lucifer, unable to move. Just as Lucifer reveled in her triumph, Ryden suddenly opened his eyes and delivered a powerful punch using his mechanical arm. He then grabbed Lucifer by the throat. With a furious roar, Lucifer released a surge of energy that shattered Ryden's left arm. Ryden was instantly pressed against the wall. Unexpectedly, a small laser gun protruded from his palm. It fired a laser that seriously injured Lucifer. After an intense battle, both combatants were exhausted. They exerted their last reserves of power to overcome their opponent. In the secret chamber, Ichihara detected Lucifer's life signs. Surprisingly, she was still alive. This was their final chance. Angel understood Ichihara's intention and equipped herself with temporary armor. Azura also decided to join the fight. Lucifer, now recovered from her injuries, laughed uproariously. Ryden, after severely injuring Lucifer, lost consciousness. Angel went to his rescue, carrying a spare device. She then confronted Lucifer with the equipment provided by Ichihara. However, in Lucifer's eyes, the mechanized cyborg was no match for her. Unexpectedly, Angel launched a flash grenade that instantly blinded Lucifer. Seizing the opportunity, Angel used live ammunition to attack. The blind Lucifer was pierced by the bullet. She promptly controlled the debris to shield herself and escaped into the base, hoping to regain her vision during this time. However, Azura suddenly appeared before her. He manipulated the debris and launched an attack against Lucifer. They were once allies who came together to protect the weak. However, Lucifer had killed innocent people for her own desires. It was time for her to pay the price for her sins. Knowing that she was no match for Azura, Lucifer unleashed her last reserves of power, causing the entire building to explode. Taking advantage of the chaos, Lucifer managed to escape. Azura arrived at Ichihara's lab tired. They need to confirm Lucifer's location as soon as possible. He knew that if she regained her strength, no one would be able to stand against her. Azura and Angel split up to search for Lucifer. At this moment, Lucifer is hiding in one of the labs of the Institute, absorbing the surrounding energy to restore her body. Before long, Ichihara detected an abnormality as life signs emerged from the power chamber underground. He immediately notified Azura of this information. Ichihara attempted to cut off the power supply to the chamber, but suddenly, the computer screen displayed the word kill. The whole console went out of control. It was all the doing of Lucifer. Following the clues, Azura made his way to the basement, but it was too late. He didn't expect Lucifer to recover so quickly. The surrounding cables became her weapons, and Azura couldn't even get close. He tried to defend himself with his superpowers, but the previous battles had left him drained, and moments later, he collapsed. Just as Lucifer was about to deliver a finishing blow, Angel arrived just in time to save Azura. She launched a bomb that destroyed the power device from which Lucifer was drawing energy. The smoke clears. Lucifer gets up and attacks Angel. She releases 2 sub-bombs. The lasers successfully knocked out Lucifer's power. Seeing her weakened, Angel seized the opportunity to strike. Lucifer blocked the attack with the little energy she had. Blood sprayed onto Angel's face. Lucifer then grabbed a nearby cable, allowing power to surge into her body. With a single punch, she sent Angel flying several meters away and pinned her against the wall, absorbing her energy. As Angel began to lose consciousness, a laser beam severed Lucifer's arm just in time. Ryden, who had recovered, arrived just in time. Although the laser severely injured Lucifer, it wasn't enough to kill her. Ryden's weapons were also disintegrated by Lucifer's powers. Seeing an opening, Angel stabbed Lucifer with a weapon modified by Ichihara. All they can do now is to use all the methods they can think of. Ryden is approaching Lucifer step by step. He is ready to die with Lucifer. Only an explosion generated from his own body could completely destroy her. Struggling, Angel picked up the modified weapon and fired 3 shots at them.
Work for the Special Security Force, kill a creep and shoot your partner.
She dragged her tired body out of here. As the plan failed, Minister Cume escaped in a helicopter, ordering his subordinates to destroy the secret recording. Suddenly, an explosion occurred.